this is my problem with Kevin, is that he sees everything as a suspicion. And when you're seeing everything as suspicious, you're really not helping. Because Kevin jumped on Nick before a millionaire was really even chosen, before the millionaire knew they were the millionaire. What is up, everybody? So, the Mole Meets the Traders Netflix show, $1 Million Secret, has started its second season. It's a show that I didn't watch right away. I believe someone in the comments, I wish I remembered who, if it's you, shout out to you, told me to watch it months ago, and I was late to watching it, so I didn't review the first season. But I wanted to give this season a try, maybe give some reviews. Sometimes with me, the Netflix shows, the editing leaves a lot to be desired. But nonetheless, I think it is a good concept. It definitely is Netflix's answer to The Traders, a dramatic show where everyone has to figure out who's a secret something, in this case, a secret millionaire, have these dramatic dinners where they accuse everyone of being the secret millionaire. It makes for good television when we're at like their version of the round tables. I feel like with first episodes, though, it's really hard to get to know everyone, learn everybody on the show, get their personality. Every competition reality show has this problem, but it's kind of a bigger problem with this show for me because I feel like if you're not, at least in this first episode, and I'm just reviewing the first episode today, I'm only watching one episode at a time. I will review episodes 2 and 3 in the coming days this week when I have time to watch those 2 episodes. But yeah, I think I'll review it an episode at a time. In this first episode, though, if you're not the millionaire, if you're not the person with the clue, very few other people like got a part of the edit for me to get to know them. I wanted to come in here and like give a cast assessment and my thoughts on everyone's game, but only about half the cast stands out. But let's go through some of the people that do stand out at least. Daisy is 50 years old. She is coming into the show wanting to be liked, wanting to get along with everyone. Unfortunately for her, she does something that was a secret agenda in season 1. She's always trying to hug everybody, and that makes her very suspicious because they think she's doing the secret agenda in this episode. She talked about at the beginning how her kids were giving her suggestions on how to win, and they said she just had to be herself, but a little less. And I haven't watched episode 2 yet. If I had to guess by the editing, I feel like Daisy has a very good chance of being the first boot because I feel like out of everyone that isn't the millionaire or didn't get the first clue, she kind of got the biggest edit. We had a big introduction about her. The first thing she said is her kids told her to be herself, but a little less. And I feel like she has kind of overdone it, especially where the hugging is concerned. But I could be wrong, and she could be in here for the long haul. And maybe she's going to continue to have this edit where she is doing a little too much. Hunter is a standout as well. He wanted to come in and be a likable idiot. He is one of many people lying about his job. I love when people get on these reality shows and think they have to lie about every single job they have. Hunter is not telling people what he does. He's telling people that he works at a barbecue restaurant. I don't think by the end of episode 1, though, Hunter was able to continue to come across as a likable idiot. I feel like he either came across as an idiot to some, or but maybe not likable, though, at least with Natalie, who definitely called him an idiot as this episode went along. But I don't think she likes him very much right now. But he also kind of came across as a leader at times. By the end of the episode, he was kind of really wanting to lead a charge, and you can't be seen as a likable idiot on a show like this if that's what you're doing. Now, Natalie came in and got the first clue. Everybody got their secret boxes. It was randomly chosen, I guess. She got the first clue, which we'll get to. Natalie came into saying she is ready to be deceitful and do the dirty work let's see, a few more people. Caleb is a country boy, says he lives on a cattle farm, but other than that, he didn't really stand out much. Kevin stood out because he is like gung ho about being an investigator. He comes in, he's from Kansas, he wants to be honest, he wants to be genuine. He jumped on Nick right off the bat because Nick was hesitant to say where he was from. This is my problem with Kevin, is that he sees everything as a suspicion. And when you're seeing everything as suspicious, you're really not helping. Because Kevin jumped on Nick before a millionaire was really even chosen, before the millionaire knew they were the millionaire. This was like when they were first meeting each other, and he's already thinking Nick is suspicious. And people are lying about what they do and where they're from and all these little stupid lies. But I still feel like that was a clue that Kevin was going to go overboard finding a suspicion with everything. He was the first person to point out that Daisy's hugging everyone. He's wrong about Daisy too, but he's sticking with that. Umeko is a standout because everyone is saying she's too quiet. I don't know if that's going to be great for her social game in the long run on this show. She also got caught in a lie by the end of the episode. Nick is from Florida. We really didn't get a big introduction about Nick, but he had our cliffhanger for episode 1, which we'll get to. Altie works in politics. He's lying to everybody, saying that he teaches in high school. He teaches social studies in high school. Altie is the person that ends up being our first millionaire this season and has to hide it from everyone else. It's not something he wanted. He did not want to be a millionaire right off the bat. But unfortunately for him, that's the cards he was dealt, and now he is going to have to play the game from jump aggressively, because when you're the millionaire, you kind of got to do the biggest gaming, but you also don't want to do too much gaming because that's how they figure your ass out. Who else is left? There's the two Laurens. Honestly, Lauren G is the only one that stood out. I didn't even know who the second Lauren was until over halfway through episode 1, which is why I'm saying that I had a problem with the way all these people are introduced. It was really hard to get to know everybody, and that's a hard thing to accomplish in a first episode, but I feel like you gotta try. But Lauren G is a little overweight. Her comments at the beginning was there's so many size 2 women in the house, and she doesn't know what to do with all of that. I don't know if that was just supposed to be a joke or supposed to be her insecurities showing. But outside of that, we didn't get too much with her. But her comment did stand out. So, Altie is our first millionaire. He didn't want it early. He says he grew up poor. He was the oldest. And he's used to things being taken away from him because when he was growing up, all of his stuff became hand-me-downs to his siblings. So I guess that was his way of saying that he knows that, I guess in this case, he doesn't want that $1,000,000 to be taken away from him. Natalie's first clue is that the millionaire is a firstborn child. And she is also a firstborn child, although she has yet to share that with the group, I don't think. And by the end of this episode, I don't recall anyone asking her what order she is in. She kept this clue away from everyone for the whole episode until the end. And I think that was the way to do it. Keep the clue to yourself. Try and sniff out all the firstborns if you can. She was asking a lot of leading questions, trying to figure out who the firstborns are. She figured out Hunter is one early on. She figured out Lauren G is one early on. She eventually figured out that Altie was one too. She tried to get the information out of Yumiko, and Yumiko lied about it. And she paused before lying. Yumiko said she was an only child, but she is a firstborn. And I think because of the pause, Natalie did catch her lying. Altie had to do our first secret agenda, and in doing so, he could earn a kill shot, like an advantage where after the first vote, if he survives the first vote, he can kill a second person and get them out of the game. But if he didn't succeed, there would automatically be 3 votes against him in the first elimination, which is a really big disadvantage. I don't even know how that would work because I don't know if everyone else would know. I mean, everyone else can't know that there would be 3 votes against him. Anyway, he had to choose a phrase, and the phrase he decided to choose was no cap. And he didn't really seem to know what no cap was, and the host told him that it means that you're keeping it real. And while I get that is a way to define no cap, it seemed, I don't think it helped Altie understand how to use it in front of all of these people. So he has to go around and say no cap at least 10 times, and he gets very paranoid about saying it around Kevin because, as we've established, Kevin sees suspicion in everything, and he was definitely taking note of Altie saying no cap, although who Altie should have been looking at, paying attention to Altie saying that, was Nick, because Nick found it odd that Altie was saying that. Nick found it like Altie wouldn't say no cap, even though no cap is AAVE, so, Altie you would think, know what no cap was, even though he's saying he doesn't know what no cap means. But Altie was going around saying it very awkwardly, saying it twice in one sentence so that he could say it more, saying no cap, no cap. It was a lot. And I guess Nick took note of that. Luckily for Altie, Daisy and her hugging was very suspicious to everyone, and Kevin was making sure to point that out. So that definitely took eyes away or ears away from what Altie was doing. In the first activity, people could shoot an apple in a painting and almost get someone to confess a truth about themselves. Nothing too big came out. I mean, Natalie learned that the other Lauren, that isn't Lauren G, I think, is not an oldest child. So that made Natalie want to trust Lauren, although she never really told Lauren about that. And that's kind of when the drama came to a head towards the end of this first episode. Hunter was one of the people that got into the trophy room along with Natalie, Altie, Lauren, and a few others. And Hunter had the idea that they should vote on the person that goes in, and that person should agree to tell everyone the secret. And Hunter basically said that he wanted to be the one to do it. Well, as soon as they got to the trophy room, Natalie said that she wanted Lauren to do it and that she needs Lauren to do it, and they all have to trust her. And Lauren herself didn't even understand how she got dragged into this drama before the trophy room. But they did take a vote, and Natalie's little plan didn't really end up working because Hunter had the most votes, and Hunter was the one that went into the trophy room with the host. And Hunter got the clue that said the millionaire completed their agenda by keeping it real. Now, nobody really could understand what that clue meant. It is a pretty vague clue, and I still don't think it's a good clue, because when I think about no cap, it just means no lies. And I get that, yeah, telling no lies is keeping it real, but would someone's mind go from no cap to someone was keeping it real? I have a hard time seeing that. So when Nick grasped onto that he figured out the millionaire because of the no cap thing, and we end with our big cliffhanger of Nick calling out Altie, he didn't really get into the no cap thing yet. I'm just very confused how Nick was able to figure that all out, but I guess it was one of the things that would have stood out as a possible secret agenda other than the hugging, I guess. Maybe Nick is just very astute. I'm hoping Altie is not voted out already, but I will watch episode 2 in the future. There was more drama at the last little round table, though, because before the round table, Natalie and Hunter got into it, where Hunter didn't like the way Natalie handled the trophy room. And she tried to tell him the reason she was doing it that way is because she got the first clue. She's been doing all this investigating. She told him the clue was that the millionaire is a firstborn. But Hunter says that Natalie made him look awful because of what she did in the trophy room. And now he doesn't think he could trust Natalie. He thought Natalie was lying about having the clue. And she got offended and ended the conversation by calling him an idiot. So when the dinner slash the round table came around, Hunter immediately jumped on Natalie, saying that she got personal because she called him an idiot. He said that she revealed that she had the clue, and before Natalie revealed the clue, she started asking everyone their birth order, and then said that Daisy lied because Daisy is saying she's a middle child. Natalie thinks Daisy is lying and really is the millionaire. Daisy swore on her kids that she wasn't lying, which I think is a big deal. We'll see if anyone jumps on that. I don't like that nobody questioned Natalie about her order of birth because she said she's a firstborn too. So while the dinner got kind of heated, I was honestly kind of hoping for more drama. But I feel like a lot of people in this cast are trying to stay under the radar. They're trying not to bring too much drama. Even Nick, when he is bringing up his accusations against Altie, he's trying to keep it low key, saying he doesn't even know if he could gather votes against Altie, but he knows who the millionaire is. It's Altie. We'll see if Nick gets Altie out. There seems to be so many suspicions against Daisy, though, but there's also suspicions against Natalie, too. Hunter wanted to come in pushing for Natalie. We'll see if the way she revealed her clue at the dinner ends up working or not. But I feel like it was a decent start to this new season. I wish we could have got to see other players' personalities. Maybe they just don't have big enough personalities to stand out. But if that is a case, that's kind of a casting failure, in my opinion. But we'll see what episode 2 and 3 brings. Let me know in the comments if you are watching, without spoiling me, please, because I haven't watched episode 2 or 3 yet, what you think of the cast so far.